Hello, everyone. Welcome back to ESA Cup Season 5. We are here with another group stage game for you. And we are starting off with Odessa versus Nightwolf Esports. Two very different trajectories for these teams. If I can just find where they've been, but we do have a map veto that we have to get underway for you.
Yep, the map we're gonna be playing Oregon today. Usually could be a quite popular pick, but not this group stage. Of course, we had a lot of Chalet and a lot of well, we had a
Villa
lot of
as
Villa,
well.
yeah, Villa actually surpassing Chalet in times played with 12 this matchup, but I'm going to Oregon. So, I mean, I don't see any reason to stretch this out any longer. Should we get into the map too?
Yeah,
It's
let's
orange.
jump into it. Heading into Oregon, obviously, these two teams are sitting in third and fourth here in Group A while we head into this matchup. Starting things off, though, they had a very different start. Odessa taking a 7-2 loss against Villains, whereas Nightwolf did pick up a 7-4 win against MD Gaming. However, just last week, it was Nightwolf who lost 7-1 to Villains. So that team is at the top of the group now. But as we head into Oregon, these two teams on equal points, equal record, but just higher round differential from Odessa, which we've been saying all season that could be the difference between standings. And it certainly seems like that's the case here. But we have started heading into this, the operator bans actually. Flores and Knock taken off the board.
Yep, Flores and Nuck. I mean, it kind of makes sense for this a map like Oregon. Flores, of course, being able to get rid of that utility really easily. Jaeger cannot deny him, so only Mute actually could be a good counter to him, so he can be quite annoying to deal with, but he is taken off the board. As for Nuck, I mean, she has nades, she can go from below. We actually saw yesterday that Nuck was played a lot on Villa, but of course we're not playing Villa, but she could still be really useful to get rid of those defenders from below, where they won't be able to really counter her that much. Soul's also being taken off the board as well. Really popular ban on her. Lastly, Valkyrie. I mean, the two defenders also very popular in their picks, and could also be very difficult to deal with, especially with those Val cows being very hard to spot. But with that bad phase coming to an end, we're going to commence the operator pick and getting into our first round.
Yeah, heading up to this top floor, we can see from the defense, it looks like a fairly heavy sort of anchory setup. You've got Wamai and Jaeger both on side being brought to just really deny the utility that Team Odessa are going to bring into when they attack this site. You also have the Aruni as well as a Mute, very strong anchor operators. Obviously, Aruni, now that the P10 has been heavily nerfed, it's much more often to see that DMR, to see her being in those more site anchor positions. Really, we're going to be looking for Blacklist on that alibi to be the one that will be maybe out on the roam, getting a bit fraggy out on the map. And it's going to be interesting to see what Odessa can bring along to counter that. But on the other things, we're seeing a Thatcher, we're seeing a Thermite, we're seeing Sledge and Buck and Yana as well. Very standard setup, very generalist as well. This can be applied to a lot of different sites, and it's going to be the main point of contention is going to be wherever this hard breach goes. They've only got the one, maybe secondary hard breach on the Buck as well, but no, he does have flashes. So Thermite, the life of Ajax, just going to be very important, and they've got to keep him alive. Otherwise, things could be very bad.
Yep, he's letting his drone to kind of drone out this master bedroom side, but the Gyro is going to be controlling that as Akashi actually gets the first pick on Sledge. That's gonna be the Jaeger of the board. Of course, his utility already down, so just his gun off the board. As Psycho also getting a bit of damage here from Blacklist playing on top white stairs. We see that a lot of utility being concentrated around this master bedroom bush, and as Shibuya trying to get Rooney out of this locker armory and gets taken out by a grenade from below by Psycho, of course. Again, and gets a second one for himself.
Wow.
Really, really nicely done with those nades coming out from below. Actually, it wasn't Psych, it was Kashi with a nade from below to Rooney. And now in a 2v5 situation, Nightwolves not looking too great on this first defensive round as main Heartbeach is coming out. And Shinx gets himself first kill, cannot get the second, and at least Blacklist in a 1v4 situation now.
Yeah, absolutely. Does find the swing onto Ajax on that breach. That's Diffuser surrendered now in the middle of the bomb site, but there is still that cover coming through. One on the games window, one on this top white stairs as well. Has spotted out the alibi, so forces that rotation away. Psycho still playing on this position, and they actually don't know the position. However, Intel now gained thanks to that Gemini replicator, and now the swarm comes through. Oh, that's a nice shot. Diffuser now being planted by Akashi. They might not know of Blacklist's position. He takes a swing. It's now 1 versus 1.
Oh my god!
So low! What a clutch to start things out from the alibi. Blacklist getting fraggy, like I said, and that is certainly a way to start a map.
That is just really, really impressive. Things were looking really dire there for Nightwolves, but Blacklist coming in literally clutch, and clutching out a 1v4 really played for him. But Odessa also just giving him the ones, giving him these picks, and not really playing as a team when in those final seconds when it mattered the most, and just kind of throwing the round, I would say. But good job for Blacklist for clutching that out. Really, really well done for him as he takes the alibi yet again. Really, really successful, of course. But we're going downstairs and we're seeing a Mira strat yet again. Mira not being banned by the team, so gonna be in play and could be really, really hard to deal with if the utility will be placed correctly. Of course, the mute jammers gonna be providing some help to counter the hard breach that is being brought. Again, only one hard breacher coming out from Odessa, from Ajax on a Hibana. That would suggest that they could go for hatches, but also could also be brought to counter the Mira strat. We'll see how it plays out. Shibuya playing on a Jackal again. I mean, not again, but as well. Gonna be hunting those roamers that are gonna be playing from Odessa, but currently, I mean, from Nightwolves, currently only seeing one. It's gonna be Buchen playing in first floor of big tower here. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
again, really angry strat.
Yeah, it's one of those things as well. Like you mentioned about only one hard breach. However, there's no intel denial coming out from Nightwolf. They don't have a Kaid. They don't have a Bandit. The only thing they really have is a Mute, which is not necessarily the most effective method. So bringing along that Thatcher just to clear those Mutes, there's no chance of tricks, no chance of that being destroyed because of that as well, like you would have with a Bandit trick, say. So I guess there's just that confidence of maybe feeling that they don't necessarily need to pick into that. However, it is still risky because if you have a defender that's getting out on this map, you have to keep Ajax very, very safe. Make sure that there's no possibility that they can get killed, because at that point, your entire plan is ruined.
Yep, that is certainly true, but Nighthawk was really surrendering a lot of map control for Odessa just get their hands on, and the hatch already being opened by Odessa, the Hibana, yes, of course, being used for these hatches, but not really any pressure coming out from Lebukin playing in Big Tower, just kind of patiently waiting for Odessa to walk into his side, but they're not really planning on doing that, as going down this laundry stairs, getting rid of that. I mean, trying to get rid of the Mira window, not being very successful at it. You see also our freezer push, really pushing that laundry and not really taking much um much, not thinking much for Lebuchen, who's playing in Big Tower. You don't really need to, as they are going for a very different approach for this site. Still trying to get rid of this mirror window, not being successful at all. Already wasting, what is it, 6 Hibana pellets on this window alone, and just not being able to do anything
Yeah,
against
the
this.
ADSs are blocking the EMP grenades as well.
Yeah, not being very successful, as the first kill from Bruton does come out on this flank. Now you know that he could be flanking, but not really much flank down coming out of them, as Odessa start walking into sight now. I mean, not into sight, but with 10 seconds left, they gotta do something, and they aren't really successful at it, as Scripps gets one, gets immediately reflected by Ajax. Another kill from Psycho, but C4 comes out, getting Hibana, and now in a 1v. Just not keeping track of all the kills, as action going down so quickly, but Nightwolves do come out on top with this one. No clutch needed at this time.
No, and it was certainly, again, we have those questions raised about the one hard breach. If you have maybe a second person, or even just another way of clearing those ADSs, because it was really like 1 or 2 ADSs completely shut that entire thing down, because the mirror was still able to play behind that window, and everything just fell apart from there.
Yeah, I don't really having much to contest this mirror window, and the site setup does win out for that one. They did get hatches, but I don't think they really gained much from those hatches. I think you kind of just take it off the box. Oh, let's get hatch. And didn't really do much from there. Of course, there was a drop going from Akashi there into sight, but not really doing much apart from that. And deciding to push instead of the big tower, and blue deciding to push the main stairs, and Freezer just being blocked off by the one mirror window. Really well, good setup from Odessa, and not very well prepared by, I mean, not really prepared by Odessa, and good strategy by Nightwolves as they come into kitchen and meeting room this time. A really heavy hold onto this upstairs. Do not want to see that vertical being played. Odessa appears to be going for a big tower push to get those walls up and plant in meeting, but it's gonna be a bit hard for them. Quite a heavy hold on here. The Yana clone does come into sight. Scripts probably aware of this, doesn't want to chase it anymore.
It'd be quite funny if it was the real
Yeah.
player.
Yeah, that would have been quite a quite a push. Yeah. But still, Odessa playing. I mean, Nightwolves. Just keep using them. Playing this quite passively. Theshers do come out. Gonna be helping out this Thermite to breach this. Yep, the Matic wall. Pushing out Hookah from there. With a nose shield, it's gonna be quite hard for defenders to deal with that. And now Odessa starting to set out a bit their attack.
Yeah, removes that vertical control from the Bandit of Hookah. It means that really the only player that can contest this breach is Scripps, unless you have, say, Shanks from that other side, but Geo with a swing means that now this entire breach, and hey, even the stage plant is now completely uncontested by Nightwolf. They need to now get Shanks to push up aggressively here again. Does find one onto Psycho with a swing as well. That's one, that's two, 3! Another hero play coming through for Nightwolves, and it's completely shut them down. 4 kills on the round for Shanks. It's a quad. And now Shibuya left in the 1 versus 4. It doesn't look likely. It doesn't look possible. But hang on a second here, though, Hotnix. He's managed to find 2 here on the upstairs. Looks away at just the wrong time as now the bandit slips away. The drop makes it an ace for Shanks. Heroics yet again, and that's the timeout coming through from Odessa. I mean, you've got to have a chat after that one, because that's ridiculous.
That is a second round in really quick succession. They just kind of threw. I mean, not really any other way to describe that. They had that 3v5 advantage. They had the map control. They had everything going for them, but Nightwolves coming out on top there with Shanks, and that that ace, that hero play from him, really well done by him, and just finding those holes in Odessa's attack and just taking everything, taking that advantage and with both hands and not advantage, but that this their I don't even know how to describe that. That's just really, really amazing coming out from Nightwolves yet again to kind of clutch that up. And yeah, just when things seem dire, Nightwolves keep surprising us with just unexpected results. Now, this time, going into second floor
Yeah.
doors. Here in second floor, this did have a bit more of a more successful attack. Just the last 1v4 was lost there, so things do seem a bit maybe better for them in this case, but who knows with this matchup? Honestly, anything can happen here. As we see, interesting gun choice from Recruitment as he takes the shot instead of the SMG. I mean, does provide some very needed soft breach for himself, but I mean, there's Alibi has a shotgun and Demir also has a shotgun as well as a primary, so I mean, I don't really know if that was a what, maybe it's a more comfortable with the gun, but see how that's gonna be used.
I mean, the ACS hits like a truck. Let's face it, like,
It really does, but
2 bullets from
again,
that, you're probably dead. Like, most players are dead from 2 bullets.
yeah, but at the same time, one reward from the SMG. Oh, it's a spawn pick. Now I see why it was picked for the 1.5 scope, but cannot seem to find anyone. And yeah, LeBruin really, really wanting some action for himself as well, as two of his players already doing quite a bit. Wants to get a piece of that action as well. As Odessa going for a bit of a more of a split push this time, with the Harbinger with Thatcher going for a main wall, and Ying and a Lion going for a more big tower push. I mean, Ying does have the Heartbreach charges. That means they do have another Heartbreacher this time, but we'll see if that will help them.
Only 5 reinforcements used from Nightwolves as well. Obviously, they might be keeping 2 on side if they want to reinforce off that big tower. Say pressure gets a bit too much, they can dip away from there, completely reinforce that up. But there's another 3 that I just don't know where they are, or where they're missing. I don't know. It's close C4 though, but that's Scripps finding the opener. So yet again, Odessa playing from this disadvantage. I mean, Scripps could definitely find a second here as well if Shibuya's not careful. Does have 2 nades on side though, maybe could find something from the vertical. The information is there, however, the Jaeger creeping down the stairs. Scripps could find one here. Looks like Shibuya is ready and waiting. Psycho though does find a bit of heat on the other side of things. 70 seconds left in this round, and certainly looking like another strong start for Nightwolves. However, Akashi does bite back.
Yeah, biting back from that mid window, gets himself another pick, and Scripps really not being in a very good position here on Armory, but finds a second kill for himself as Nade comes out from below, doesn't find him. Second one being thrown, doesn't find him either, but the bullets do. Now that he's down, it's a 3v3 situation, but he did find a Thatch and did find a Lion, which could be quite very important picks, as LeBruchen also finds one for himself, and now in a 2v3 situation. Guys, still playing on main widow, does a lot of damage to Shanks that tried to peek him, and now just trying to find those picks, trying to find some opening as tries to get into sight, but is not able, as Akashi is now left in a 1v situation and cannot do anything from there. Cannot replicate the same clutch potential as the Nightwolves have against them. And that's another round for Nightwolves. Nightwolves just look kind of unstoppable here, and Odessa not looking a bit lost.
Yeah, I mean, 4 rounds in a row, and they haven't The only exception to it being close is that first round where we saw the 1v3 coming through from Blacklist. The rest of them haven't really been that close at all. We've had an ace. We've had that situation where it was a 3 versus 1 for Nightwolf, and the confidence gained from round number 1, I think, has been absolutely huge for them. And for Odessa, it's kind of the opposite. When they lose that situation, it's very easy as a player to get yourself stuck in sort of a mental rut when it comes to stuff like that, especially if it's your very first round. And as a pro player, as when you're playing at this kind of level, you've got to have such a short memory when it comes to stuff like that. But it's gonna play on your mind, especially first round in, you're still kind of warming up to things, and then you get a 1 versus 3 going the other way. It's gonna be it's gonna be absolutely devastating for your mental.
Definitely will be, but also I can see a bit of more confidence coming out of Nightwolves, and maybe a bit more of a different pick coming out from them as well, not following the same strategy that won them their round last time. I see a Warden actually coming out, but this could be a counter pick for Odessa, as they did pick Ying last time, but does not appear to be that they're doing that this time. And Psych already going to small tower really, really fast here, taking that map control, also droning and trying to find again first picks and get that early advantage, and then try to capitalize from that, because not being able to capitalize from the advantage is really, really weak point from them. As coming into there again, Lubricant playing tower stairs here could be putting a bit of pressure for the players that are playing on top, as vertical angles being set up by Akashi here. Yeah, just I think executing kind of a very similar strategy from Odessa here with Hibana with the sledge, but cache is being opened up. But yeah, not seeing very much adaptation here for now. Maybe everything is gonna change when they do start executing onto site. Lubricant did get drilled. They do know that he's playing in the tower, and now he is trying to push out a bit maybe, but no, just holding a side angle here.
Similar play from Lebkuchen again, just hanging about this big tower. However, there does seem to be a bit more of that pressure coming onto him this time. Shibuya just making sure that that cannot come through. The EMP from above, taking out those ADSs, taking out those mute jammers possibly. And that's going to allow the nades to come through, and the Hibana pellets as well. And there we go. There's that breach being opened. That forces Hookah to fall back, makes it a much more difficult position this time. Although, actually, I think Blacklist shot them off,
Yep,
which
did.
means that this position is now so solid, and they don't have the ADSs, they don't have the EMPs even to clear it again, especially now. Lebkuchen finds one onto Shibuya, whiffs a second, but Psycho with the response elsewhere. 40 seconds left now in this 4 versus 4. Lebkuchen just being a phantom, a ghost out on the map, is diverting this attention. We can see Gio with that diffuser rotating all the way around to that stage hatch, and does take the drop into E-Box, but with 20 seconds, Scripps finds one, and now man advantage again for Nightwolves. It's trade back and forth as Gio now with that diffuser once again heading into the site. Lebkuchen still being a menace, and Hookah with one as well. Gio now has to clutch this in a 1 versus 3, but it can't be done. Shanks closes it out. 5 rounds to nothing. 5 rounds in a row. Nightwolf look unstoppable.
They really do here, and Odessa just not really adapting to the situation here from that Nightwolves are presenting them. Going for a same push, going for a same strategy, and again, not working out at all for them. Even without having someone ace, even without having a clutch, Nightwolves are still able to just win these rounds, and Odessa not able to provide anything against that. Honestly, in the standings, I thought this could be a really close game, seeing that both were sitting on 6 points, both did lose to villains that are top of the group, but so far not looking like so. As Odessa just not able to provide anything against Nightfall's defenses, and they can't really fall back onto that. I mean, maybe the map could be a bit more defender or attacker favored, as on Oregon historically this is quite a 50-50 map on attacker and defender wins. So yeah, Dessa not able to do anything against the defense of Night Wolves, and again, don't really see any much adaptation coming from Odessa for the kitchen and meeting push. Actually, no, never mind, as Akashi swaps onto an ace this time, providing a second heartbeat could be quite beneficial for them, maybe, depending on what they decide to push. I don't see a Thermite going into gone from there, but oh no, he is. He just has the bomb and is still just droning himself. Is already going to this big tower, and yeah, just a very similar push coming in from them. But maybe the snowman could provide a bit of needed flank wedge for them, as
Yeah.
flank wedge is a weak point
They've
for
got
them.
the ace as well, so that allows more hard breaching options. Still have those impact EMPs from Geo when with having the bandit batteries. That's going to be no sweat to clear those out with those EMPs. It's going to be, if it's a Kai Claw, it's more difficult. However, maybe just some things going awry, and now that Shibuya's found themselves down from this vertical angle, Hookah, you absolute mad lad, the breach is going to go off, has to just find another angle, but no, actually. I think that was just the timer on those EMPs being reset. You have to be so very careful with that timing. Scripps, though, is going to be aware of this green push. Obviously, it caught him out last time, does not want to suffer the same fate. And with Shanks going down through this flank as well, could be absolutely huge. Obviously, the Yana does need to be aware of that position. The Ossa as well. With only 75 seconds left, this round could very much be in the books already, just with that one kill onto the Nomad. That flank even could be absolutely huge, but no, Shanks falls back. However, Hookah with a second means that it's still very much not over, especially with Shanks finding another and Lebkuchen doubling down as well. So 1 versus 5 now. Psycho has to try and prevent this flawless half with an ace clutch 1 versus 5. I don't think it's going to be done. 45 seconds now.
We've seen that this
Yeah.
matchup was quite has brought many surprises, but not this time. Odessa not able to find any rounds in their attacking half, as they go 6-0 and go on defense now. Maybe their defensive half could be a bit more successful. I mean, comeback is still on the cards, of course, but seeing as they cannot drop a single round now, if they want to stand a chance to win this matchup, that is very unlikely for them, especially
Yeah.
seeing as Nightwolves, of course, yeah, just not looking like they can be stopped by them. But they do go laundry and supply room first, and maybe they can bring something that Nightwolves could not be expecting. Maybe just catching them out on their defense could be a bit. Maybe defense could be a bit easier for them, but yeah, just 0-6 going to defensive half is not looking good at all. We see from Nightwolves that they do pick a Ying, and Bruken swaps out a ace for Tiabana, and Ash being swapped for actually a Gridlock. Or what? No. Swap for a Ying. Shanks and Scripps actually swapping operators there. But yeah, not nothing too good for them. Bringing a flank watch this time, Nightwolves with that Nomad, I mean. We see actually a roamer as well from Odessa on Kashi. Oh, never mind. Maybe he's just kinda
Just poking, just prodding, you know.
Yeah, just kind of waiting, and no rumors at all
No.
coming out from
Not sure if I like that,
Odessa.
to be honest. A lot of map
Yeah.
control given to Nightwolf early on, and we know how good they can be in these frags. So when it comes down to this execute, they're going to have so much time to figure things out, to find out what they want to do. They have actually, yeah, no, the Yings only brought smokes. I don't know if that's intended or not, but only Leverkusen with that hard breach. So once again, maybe even a similar issue that we saw from Odessa, being they just don't really have that hard breaching capability, and they don't have a Thatcher either. So it looks like a lot of this utility is going to have to be cleared with just nades, and they've only got two on hand. That's Blacklist on the Yana. I don't know if I like this.
Yeah, but hey, they did gain a lot of map control just 1 minute. That's what no rumors gets you in on Oregon. Jones being taken out by these mute jammers, of course, not that utility now from mute. Very, very beneficial for Nightwolves. But with a minute 30 left to set up this execute, Odessa, Nightwolves, they have a lot of time in their hands to just plan things out, maybe get some drones out, and not even a flank or attempted flank coming out from Odessa. Everyone just barricaded on the site and just waiting for something to happen from Nightwolves. And something does happen as Hookah and Blacklist find themselves first two frags and now in a 3v situation. Odessa facing the Ying Candelas coming out. Now, things not looking too great as another
Oh
kill comes
my,
out.
what?
Kills flying left and right. And with 45 seconds left, just still a bunch of time left for Nightwolves to recuperate themselves, drone out the last two remaining operators, and find an opening and get that execute up and running.
Yeah, site control still, though, back in the hands of Odessa. But, oh, that angle through the shield from Hookah! And Akashi
Oh,
can't get it done either! 7 rounds to 0! Complete shutout from Nightwolf. And there's just absolutely no contest. I do have to say, Nightwolf far and away insane. Shanks and Blacklist have got to be credited with at least some of that. That ace, that 1v3 in those first few rounds, just sent Nightwolf on their way to claim a victory there.
yeah,
It's
Odessa
just,
looking just
yeah.
powerless. Powerless against Nightwolves. Cannot find anything. There were really close rounds, of course, but yeah, Nightwolves always coming out on top. And just not. Yeah, I don't know. I really thought this matchup would have been a bit more
A bit
like,
closer, or,
yeah, yeah, a bit less one-sided. But hey, that's group stage for you, and
yeah,
that
and
means that
that's the only game that we actually have for today.
no, there's
The
nothing
very
else.
last minute, Notorious Esports have said they can't play. That was
Oh,
literally during we were playing the last map, so that's a forfeit. Oh no, sorry, Unlimited said that, so it's a forfeit win for Notorious Esports. Which is a bit unfortunate that we had to cut our time here so short. Obviously, it was quite literally the shortest it could have been. Only 7 rounds casted for the stream tonight, and we're gonna have to end it after no more than like 30 minutes.
well, quite a
It's
big contrast against the match that we had. I mean, I casted yesterday. Went on for 1.5 hours.
oh my,
I mean,
oh my,
it was maximum overtime with technically three rehosts. That
oh
was
lovely.
that was something. But hey, that means that Nightwolves now overtake Odessa in the group standings with 9 points for them. That times about on points with Molotov Gang. I don't think no, that's not gonna get them up on round differential either. But now cement themselves in third place and push Odessa Esports down to fourth. Yeah, nothing much to say there. Really, just dominated by Nightwolves there.
Yeah, that's. I mean, well, I'm running out of words to describe that. Short of just a legendary performance from Nightwolf. And, once again, we've got to highlight Blacklist. We've got to highlight Shanks as well, who is the MVP for this match. 10 kills, and 5 of those being in that round number 3 just to take things home. And I think from that point on, Odessa just couldn't really get anything going. As soon as round 3 finished, they had that ace against them. That was it. The writing was on the wall from that moment. And as things just continued forward, not able to get it done, not able to get anything across the line.
Yeah, but I think even the first round kind of started outlining the picture, started
Yeah.
outlining that the momentum that it didn't look too great at first, but just legendary performances I think from the star players of Night Wolves, and yeah, just I don't know what to say either, just absolutely legendary from them. But that then in that case that concludes the evening today. No,
Yeah.
yeah. So hopefully we'll see you guys again later tomorrow. We also have a couple of matches. I don't remember who plays tomorrow, but definitely we'll have some matches then. So we'll see you again then. Goodbye.
Bye.